Well, we've just seen the opening 8 heats of the second round of the BoyleSports.com derby. Kevin, some tremendous finishes there tonight, but as always, we're going to go through the heats one by one. The first heat tonight, your father's own Kilara Haymack looked to have it in the bag, but cramped badly for the second week running, and it was Kippers Hussein, the popular choice in the betting, who came through the score.
Yeah, favourite backers were off to an ideal start. Kilara Haymack, just fitness caught up with him. He just didn't have the ideal preparation into this competition, and it took his tail on him. He had a tough race in the opening round, and he ran on Saturday night, and quick turnaround here on Thursday night just didn't suit. Kippers Hussein, the battle to the bend was the reason he was such a big price. If he was on the inside, if he was in trap 1, he would have been even money odds on. So he ran really well. He stayed on well. It would have been pretty easy to pick up a dog cramping so badly, but he still had to do it. Tyre Frederick stayed on well as well, and you'd have to say Hold'em Hawk was an eye catcher again. Every run he gets, the British Challenger should come on in leaps and bounds too.
But it's very much about Kippers Hussein. He rode that bump in the early stages very well, and as we said, he was there to take advantage when Kilara Haymack tied up.
Yeah, exactly, and he ran really well in the early stages of this year's English Derby. It just didn't go according to plan. One night he missed a break. The start is crucial to Hussein generally. He got a lot of trouble in the start tonight, but he still managed to come through. If he can use that in his artillery, he could be one to progress nicely for Pat Buckley.
Well, if I remember rightly, 12 months ago, Ballyana Foxtrot produced his best run of the derby in the second round. Similar display tonight. It was a case of he took off tonight. Probably a bit of bumping on the inside, and then lack of early pace in the middle allowed him to get to the front. And once he's in the front, he's a real powerhouse.
Yeah, and he's been running really well down in Limerick. He's got really great times done in Limerick. Just coming into the Derby, he's been in good form. He was an eye catcher in the feet. No one at all. There's trouble everywhere. Out on the outside, going around in front now. Lack of early pace there. Bit of scrummage on the inside. He was all front and 6.
Ballyana Foxtrot goes on, running second one. Smurfing Convoy 5. Elf Flutter comes next. He'll be finishing fast, but out front still 6. Ballyana Foxtrot 5 and second. Elf Flutter. Then comes 1 Smurfing Convoy. 2
going on.
Pennies flying up.
Will his price be slashed considerably, or are we a case of was it just, are you going to see it as a free
Elf Flutter 6 Ballyana Foxtrot.
In the blog this week at 100 to 1. He's not going to be anywhere near 100 to 1. He'll be probably about, I'm guessing, about the 16 to 1 mark. He's not going to be in the top 2 or 3 in the betting. You're going to have the top 2 or 3 in and around there still, but you'd imagine he's going to come down an awful lot. Like 29.39, it's still a great run regardless of how he does it, and if he can keep getting tasty draws on the outside with that early pace, and there is a lack of early pace in this year's Derby, you never know, he might just prove it's not a fluke.
A good result for the Layers in Heat 3. This time Loughkill Blake was the warm order, having done the big run the opening round, but what a finish. Paradise Maverick just getting there, but Vulturi made up some ground, but a 3-way photo finish. It really was a race to save it.
Yeah, it really did.
Off they go, flying start by 4. Cabra leads in the opening turn from the outside 6. Loughkill Blake, who now cuts from the inside, and 6 Loughkill Blake takes over. 1 though, Paradise Maverick in a brilliant pitch on the inside. It's 6 Loughkill Blake, but he's going to have to run here tonight. 1 Paradise Maverick, a serious threat. Back in third spot now, 2 Vulturi in full stride, but it's 6 Loughkill Blake. 1 Paradise Maverick, 2 Vulturi flying, but onto the final turn, 6 Loughkill Blake. 1 Paradise Maverick really putting it up jump. 2 Vulturis flying in behind, coming to line. What a finish!
In the early stages, he could be one to progress nicely. Vulturi, if only he could break, if only he could go to the bend. He's probably as fast a dog as in the competition. I think there's one dog for raw speed that's faster than him. We're going to come to him shortly, but I just think that if Vulturi can just turn some little bit closer, he's something. It'd be hard to keep out of frame.
Of course, then we go on to Heat 4. It was a strange contest. It was a thrilling finish again. Another 3-way photo finish. This time the verdict going to Farley Rio. Things worked in his favour, but he had to have the pace to get there.
Yeah, exactly, and British Challenge, it looks decent this year, you have to say, and they have run really well. Farley Rio, another one. His run in the first round was very good at the big price. It was a big price again tonight here. It was a tight finish. It's hard to say, to gauge too much into it. Homer's boy ran really well. He's going to come back injuries. Frustrating dog, his pace is unbelievable. There just seems to be a few niggles. JT Osprey, I thought she ran really well. I thought she ran really well the first night. I thought she stayed on very strong tonight. If she can get 1 or 2, and should be a different bitch. I think she might be the time wasn't great. She could be a bit of value next week.
Certainly, she ran an absolute bowler in defeat again, having done the same last week.
Yeah, exactly, and that's her problem. She just hasn't got a favourable draw yet. If she gets on the inside, she needs 1 or 2. If she get 1 or 2, get a decent start like she did in the opening round, I think she'll surprise a few.
Our friend Hold'em Spy was in action in the next heat. The verdict here going to Hawaii Kinsale. He was a big price during the day. He was perfectly drawn in trap 1, and I'm going to say he had enough ammunition, but when it came down to it, it was a case of Hold'em Spy probably had the race there if he wanted to win.
Yeah, he'd every chance. the third bend. His fancy Holden Spy, he's a strong stay. His turning is so close at the second bend. Every night, the first one, he's turned so close off the second bend.
But it's Hawaii can save by a length. There goes Holden Spy off the inside.
It's a concern. I just think if he can get a stronger pace
around
to
the bottom
him,
bend. 6 Holden Spy on the inside. 1 Hawaii can save on the outside, and Skywalker Fardo is third. Up the straight, Hawaii can save back. Oh, it's very close.
At this stage now, he's been around a long time. He knows what it's all about. I just think if you could get something out in front of him that's going to lead him to the last bend. He's picked up the running now at the third bend both nights. I don't think that suits him. I think if he could be led off the last bend and just get there on the line, I think, as I said earlier on, there's one ground in this derby faster than Vulturi, and it's Holden Spy. For me, he's the fastest in it, but he does have his issues.
Of course, Holden Spy isn't a big price to be in that derby final, and if he gets there, he won't be far away in the finish.
No, you can't see him really being out of the first two, to be honest. He's going to have to get knocked over the first bend or get an awful lot of trouble from the stopping and running. It took that in the English Derby final to put him, in the English Derby to put him out of the competition. That's the problem. But he's turning so close. He's showing more early pace than I've ever seen this dog show.
A bit of bumping between him and Vimmerby now. No for the flag is back in front again. Vimmerby on the outside. On the inside, Van Frankie. And Van Frankie moving strongly down the back. Vimmerby also. And there goes General Wolf up the inside to challenge for second around the bottom bend.
And it's royal touch for the bookmakers in the next heat. We had 4 opening round heat winners and 4 impressive opening round heat winners in action. But for the flag, racing from Trot Run, didn't give up his pitch on the corner, went to the front, and then was ultra game out front and well, ran well to win at a big price.
Yeah, he did. You just couldn't fancy him on paper, at least. But that's the brilliant thing about the Irish Ground Derby. You never know what's going to happen. And this was another race. You had Vimmerby, Van Frankie in there. Everyone was looking at those two. You thought the winner was going to come from those two, and it didn't. And unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to Johnny Cabin's Vimmerby, who I thought could go very, very far in this competition. For the flag, ran probably the race of his career to win that race. He will need an inside draw probably to progress again, but you never know. I quite liked Van Frankie, to be honest. I thought he showed massive pace at the third bend. It just didn't happen for him early, but he's only a very, very young dog, and I thought he ran really, really well. I thought he ran better tonight in defeat, finishing third, than he did when he won in 29.55. As strange as that sounds, I just thought he didn't give up the chase going down the back. He did get outstayed near the end, but he put in an awful lot of running to get to where he got to come to third bend, and that pup impressed me tonight.
On to Heat 7, and here another one of the performances of the round. It was Kisses for Clodagh, 29.54. This dog has had so many problems over the last year and a half, 2 years since the Kirby Memorial last year, but tonight he did nothing wrong in victory. 29.54. It's a superb run.
Yeah, you have to have a heart of stone not to feel for connections, and you'd have to be saying that the person that doesn't have his money down is cheering on Kisses for Clodagh. Things have gone completely wrong for this puppy. He was touted as an English Derby winner in the making, and it just hasn't happened. He is absolutely flying in the last 2 years. I didn't give him much of a chance the first night. I was a little bit more cautious tonight, and now I'm fully committed. He's a dog to keep an eye on. There's a lack of early pace in this derby. He's got in abundance. If he can stay sound at big prices, and very big prices still, because there's that concern about the injuries. You can't imagine him
kicks on again to win it from
If he can keep sound, he's definitely one that has a massive, massive say.
Emer Superstar actually chased him home. He missed the kick completely tonight. Actually made up an awful lot of ground to challenge at the third turn. Didn't find an awful lot coming home, but at that stage he'd done a lot of running.
Yeah, exactly. Emer Superstar is a ground who doesn't generally win his races before the second bend. He's got plenty of early. It didn't happen for him tonight early on, but he's still stuck to his task. He's still one of those that's in the draw next week. He's got room for improvement, and I quite like Ivy Hill Prince. That dog hasn't shown his Limerick form yet. He hasn't started as well as he can, and yet he's still there. He's still plugging away. He's going to be big prices. He'll be massive price anti-post for someone that's looking for $2.50 each way at value prices, just for the interest. If he can start well, he can do his 29.40 or 50 out there. I've no issues with that.
The betting in the final heat suggested it was a bit of a two-dog affair, although it seemed Loughill Bolt was the one that was the popular choice in the betting, but Metro Jack, the second favourite, was the one that came out on top. He showed loads of boot. Again, he checks up in the first corner, cost himself plenty of ground, but he really went into overdrive on the far side. He stayed on lightly, took a bump looking for the inside off the final turn, but it ran well to win.
Yeah, he did. He needs an inside draw. He's got top 3 and 4. If he can get one,
one Shane by Frankie. In third then is 4. Metro Jack is flying up the outside. When you get a good run, it looks like the third man. And one is cut off there, Shane by Frankie. Now it's 3. Abby Carter being challenged on the outside by Metro Jack up the straight. Metro Jack comes back. It's neck and neck, and Metro Jack gets up to win it.
Beg your pardon, Abby Carla running her heart out once once again. 25 to 1 last week, not too far off that price again tonight. And you know, she was there to be shot at, and unfortunately she found one too strong again, but she's running her heart out.
Yeah, well, is it Cara Gareth in disguise is what you want to be asking yourself. She's got blistering early pace. You clearly have a soft spot for her, because every time we talk about her there's a smile on your face. So like Liam O'Rourke's runner, you couldn't wish for a nicer man to have her as well. And it's one of those that appeals to the people that aren't looking for the favourites, that aren't looking for the short price one, the big name one. Abby Carla, she's got lightning quick early pace. If she can still keep breaking like that, you never know. Cara Gareth did it last year, 1,000 to 1 anti-post, went so far. Who knows? Abby Carla could be the one this year.
Well, her 64th career success, or 64th career and start, should I say, and she's been in the frame over 40 of them. Like, there's a lot to like about her, that's all I'm saying. I see her in Harold's Cross on a Tuesday and a Friday. I've seen her in Shelbourne Park on a Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday. I do have a soft spot for her. And of course, Shane Boy Frankie ran a bit better tonight, was challenging into the third bend and perhaps found himself in the wrong spot.
Yeah, exactly. And similar as well to a couple of the runners like Ivy Hill Prince, just hasn't started as well as he has done in the likes of Limerick and places like that. If he can just improve his starting traps here, because of what I feel as though a lack of area in the competition, he's going to keep going through rounds. He's got plenty of pace. He's only a June 12 puppy, bear in mind. He has plenty of room for improvement, and all you got to do is qualify at this stage. All you want to do is keep your name in the draw for the next round, and you never know.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. We've seen the first 8 heats of the second round of the BoyleSports.com Derby. Join us on Saturday night in Barking Buzz, or indeed in igb.ie for the second round. Better again, get yourself to Shelbourne Park and witness more top class racing action in the BoyleSports.com Derby.